My name is Dr. Christine Kazmar, best-selling author of my book, Gut Check. What I'm going to do is talk to you about a term called auto-intoxication. Auto-intoxication is really a fancified word for leaky gut, quite frankly. And so what happens is when we are not effectively digesting food, the food has to go somewhere, right? And so as I talk about in my book, Gut Check, you have from your mouth to your anus, you have this tube. And I've kind of illustrated that for you today. So let's just get right into it with some whiteboard action. So here's my amazing drawing of a person. And we're talking about auto-intoxication. Hey, don't judge. Now, this is my attempt at the alimentary canal. Now, listen, I know that this is not exactly to scale or exactly how it looks, but my point is you've got this tube, right? You got all your intestines and all that craziness going on. But just because food goes in here doesn't mean that the food is getting to the trillions and trillions of cells everywhere in your body. Your entire GI tract, it has a layer of mucus, okay? Let's pretend that the orange is the mucus. And we need this mucus to be unharmed, okay? Intact, meaning not perforated and so on. When we don't effectively digest food, so let's say that we're constipated. Okay, as you can imagine, when someone is constipated, you've got your intestines, right? Again, forgive my drawings, but you got your colon, and then you got your small intestine in the middle there. That's really a bad drawing. Let's just pretend that this is your colon, and on the inside you have your small intestine, right? Well, as you are getting ready to have a bowel movement or whatever, everything's great, it comes out. But there are a lot of people who have impacted fecal material all up in their colon, and it's just drying and hardening up against the wall, right? That's toxic. That is toxic. When fecal material is not being removed or excreted, that's good, right? When it's staying around and adhering to the wall and becoming hardened, hence constipated, the body has to do something to try to get rid of this. So what the body will do is it's going to try to break that loose. It's going to get into the blood. It's going to go through your liver, your kidneys, to try to be excreted. It's getting into your blood supply is what I'm trying to say to you, which means it has to be metabolized again. That is a contributing factor to auto-intoxication. Anyone that has symptoms, specifically things like fever, redness, pain, swelling, stiff achy joints, these are classic forms of inflammation which are very strongly linked to auto-intoxication. So what happens is, back to my drawing, when we're not effectively digesting food, that fecal material, okay, or the food that's not properly being excreted, it starts to wear away the mucus. Okay, it starts to literally wear away the mucus. And so like in your intestines, you have these finger-like projections called villi, okay? They should be nice and tightly together. But when they separate, in my drawing here, now you've got food particles that are leaking out. Think of like these unprotected fortresses now. The gates have been opened, right? The gates have been opened, and now this undigested food is going to get into the gut where it does not belong. And this is just another way of saying auto-intoxication. And another way to say that is leaky gut. Okay? So the gut becomes leaky because the mucosal lining is damaged, as well as the villi separates. That's a recipe for disaster. So in summary, when we're talking about health, when we're talking about the gut, when we're talking about digestion, when we're talking about, getting the food from that tube, the alimentary canal, into your cell, that only happens when we have adequate digestion. So just because you eat something healthy does not mean that your body receives it. It could still be in that tube, right? The alimentary canal. This is all in this book. How then do you get food past a compromised gut? How then do you get undigested food and properly digest food? Well, the answer is enzymes, right? And that's what my flagship product is. It's called Smart Carb. This is my formula. These are for the people who are on recurring subscription of my product. Everybody that is on Recurring Rebel, they're fine, and you can go to recurringrebel.com to learn more about that. But what I want to explain to you is the power of enzymes is so significant. This is literally what has changed the community around that I work, the people that I'm helping, because I am an enzyme nutritionist. Only enzymes, which are special proteins, they are not probiotics. Only enzymes can get food past a stressed gut, period. Auto-intoxication doesn't have to be something that people deal with forever, right? You have to clean up the gut. And how we clean up the gut, as I talk about in my book specifically over and over again, is we need to really look at how digestion starts to weaken. And where it starts to weaken is because we have low stomach acid. Where it starts to weaken is that we're not taking plant enzymes at the start of food. That's what Smart Carb is. Smart Carb also has the healing botanicals that I've added, which are black pepper, turmeric, and cinnamon. Why we need healing botanicals like found in Smart Carb, like black pepper, turmeric, and cinnamon, is that they aid in supporting the immune system. These three herbals, black pepper, turmeric, and cinnamon, they aid in the pancreatic health. I mean, cinnamon, turmeric, black pepper, these are amazing. There's extensive research on these three herbs of what they do. It's dramatic. But they also have been found to help with focus, lessen dementia, all types of things, okay? So that's why I'm a big fan of adding them to my formula, Smart Carb. So enzymes are the things, plant enzymes are the things that we should be taking at the start of food because we're eating heat-treated foods. We're eating foods that have been cooked, baked, pasteurized, canned, x-rayed, right? And so by adding the plant enzymes back, now then we are taking the stress off of the gut by eating things that are bitter, like arugula, lemon peel, ginger, chamomile, gentian. These are just examples of bitter type foods that help to aid in the stomach acid process. So the big problem with our society is that we have undigested food and we have low stomach acid. What are the remedies? Taking plant enzymes like Smart Carb and taking bitters in your meals more than you are, like the foods I just said, arugula, radicchio, ginger, orange peel, lemon peel, these types of foods, okay? These activate the tongue, the bitter taste receptor on the tongue, and literally, bam, magic happens. The digestive process starts ensuing. It's dramatic what happens when the bitter taste receptor hits. And it's really important that you understand that this kicks off the gut. It's a doorbell to the gut. It wakes things up when we eat these bitter foods. We're going to salivate more when we eat these bitter foods. The stomach acid is going to start getting prepped. A lot of things go on. In that whole process just by igniting that bitter taste receptor. So if we just ate more bitters, if we just took enzymes at the start of food, we would have far less auto-intoxication like I've talked to you about today. But the simple truth is this. If the undigested food is going to damage the mucosal lining, then undigested food is going to get into the bloodstream and land in tissues and joints where it does not belong, leaky gut, auto-intoxication, one and the same. And this is very disruptive. This is very energy losing, okay? It's causing a lot of energy loss, symptoms, all of that kind of thing are going to result. So stiff, achy joints, headache, heartburn, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, pick a symptom. It's coming from undigested food.